Hey there guys, my name is Evan, and unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks, you probably know that Banjo Kazooie has a better shot than ever at getting in Smash Brothers. But even though it's been 11 years, I also think they have the best shot they've ever had at getting a new game, and even on the Switch. So today I'd like to talk to you a bit about why I think Banjo Kazooie will definitely be getting a new game shown this E3. So in case you haven't heard, the case for Banjo being in Smash and even getting a new game has kind of just been snowballing for the past month or two now. At first, it was kind of a pipe dream for a lot of people to have Banjo on Switch, but the more people talk about it, the more likely it seems. And though we don't really have definite proof yet, there's so many things pointing in favor at it, it's kind of hard to deny at least how likely it is. So first, we just the other day had an admin on Reset Era who has a very, very strong track record of leaks say that Banjo is basically in the game. He said, "Wow, we haven't seen anything from Banjo Kazooie in a long time. Hope we have a smashing good time at E3," or something to that effect. Last time he said something like that, he definitely got it right. I don't remember what it was, but it was something like that. Um, and this blew up so much that it shut down the Reset Era boards. This is a big deal, guys, and this is like someone's reputation on the line, who has a really good reputation. So first of all, that's not something you just want to throw to the wind. Also, Vergibin, who I know not a lot of people trust right now due to his questionable choices lately, but he leaked the entire base roster for Smash Brothers, and that is impressive. He has something going on. And he said that one of his main sources in Microsoft, including his actual main source, says that he is 99% sure that Banjo is DLC for Smash Brothers. That's a big deal. That's that's pretty strong. The thing that kind of put the nail in the coffin for me though was when people were talking about Banjo at E3, Exquisite Games, which is a company that makes a line of figures called Cable Guy figures. They hold their hands out sort of like this, and you stick your controller, or your Switch or whatever in there, or your phone, and it just holds it. But it's really cool. And they teased their new Banjo and Kazooie Cable Guy figure, which was kind of cool and kind of unprecedented. But the big deal about this is that that line of figures normally coincides with a new game in that series. We got a Spyro one when Spyro Reignited Trilogy came out. We got a Crash one for Insane Trilogy. There was one for Endgame, they did Iron Man, and there was another one for Sonic Mania, and they made Sonic. So we haven't heard anything about a new Banjo game, but they're talking about making this figure. And when asked about it, they said, "We couldn't possibly say," which, if you ask me, sounds like something someone under a non-disclosure agreement might say. Or, you know, just, it's a little shady, if you ask me. So, when I heard that, I was like, okay, there's definitely a new Banjo game this year, or at least highly likely. And it's been wanted for a really long time now, but I really do think that if it's going to happen any year, this is the year. This is the year it's going to happen. Banjo is at all-time high hype. Just because so many people want him in Smash Ultimate, I feel like it's drawing in new fans for this like 20-year-old series. It's kind of weird, but it makes sense. Um, so what kind of features we might see in a new Banjo game, I'm not really sure, but I can tell you this: I don't think we'll be returning to the nuts and bolts formula, as not too many people were too fond of that. But a return to the old formula would be really cool. Even like a remaster of the first two games and maybe a new one tacked on the end as like a trilogy, that would be super cool. But I can almost promise you that this new Banjo game, if we get it, I can't guarantee it, but I'm like 85% sure at this point. If we get this new Banjo game, I'm guessing it's going to happen at the Microsoft conference, and I think Nintendo is going to make an appearance at the Microsoft conference. It's not too odd for them to do that. They did that with Ubisoft last year, and someone else another year. They've made guest appearances at conferences, so it's not out of the ordinary, really. And I think we'll have an announcement for a new Banjo game on Xbox and on Switch. I think the Banjo Smash announcement probably won't happen at the Xbox conference. I think if we get that, it'll most likely happen in the Nintendo Direct. But I mean, you never know. It just seems kind of unprecedented to have a Microsoft character or a new Smash Brothers character announced outside of a Nintendo event. I mean, I guess they kind of did that with the Game Awards and Joker, but I think a lot of people are kind of expecting that as well. So it's hard to say at this point. But my prediction is that we'll see Banjo Game at Microsoft, with confirmation that it'll be on the Switch in that same conference, and I think we'll see Banjo maybe at the end of the Nintendo Direct is my ultimate prediction. In case you didn't play the last Banjo-Kazooie game, Nuts and Bolts in 2008, they really kind of just strayed hardcore from the formula where instead of going through a singular world and going into or starting in a big hub world and kind of going into different worlds and progressing through it, to collect jiggies, which are these little jigsaw pieces you get for solving puzzles. Instead, you start in this, well, there's this whole story thing, but it's stupid and I'm not going to explain it. But you start in this hub world and you create vehicles using all these parts and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I think the vehicle creation is pretty cool actually, but just the way it strayed so much from the actual Banjo formula didn't do it for a lot of people. I think that kind of just pissed people off. But it was kind of cool. You went to these different worlds and you complete tasks using the vehicles, like races or delivery tasks or whatever, just all sorts of random stuff. And then you get the jiggies, but you don't get them there. You have to wait until you're outside of the world, and then you get them from a dispenser in the hub world. And then you have to take those to another, thing. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a holder for the jigsaw pieces, and you got to put them in there, and that's how you progress through the game. It was very convoluted, and it just really wasn't good for the formula. It wasn't as nearly as streamlined as the last game. It was trying to do too much with what it had, and so I really hope if we do see a new Banjo game, I think we kind of return to that old formula, simplify it a bit, bring back the moves, because they took out all the moves in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. You really just had a wrench and you swung it around. That was all you could do. You could pick up stuff, but I think it'd be good to see the moves come back. Obviously updated graphics would be awesome, but not some weird artsy block design like they had for Nuts and Bolts. That was very strange. They were all boxy. All the characters were boxy. But I don't know what else I'd like to see. Probably a return of Jinjos. They also removed those in Nuts and Bolts, which are these collectible creatures. I think if you collected all 5, then you got another Jiggy. But I think just an updated, bigger version of the old game, new worlds, maybe a couple new characters, just better graphics, and just more everything. But I think the Nuts and Bolts formula just needs to die in 2008 where it was born. Other than that, I think it would be awesome just to see I personally thought that the first couple of games were masterpieces as they were. If I could choose, I think update those 2 games with brand new graphics, but keep the story the way it was and all the mechanics, and then maybe make a new game, bigger story, more mechanics, just I don't know, maybe tie in the stop and swap feature, I believe, was the secret. There was a secret thing if you played both the games, and you could do a certain thing, and then it would give you bonuses and secrets in the games. That was really difficult and super convoluted. It didn't end up working because of the N64's capabilities, but they kind of brought it back with the Xbox version, but it was still a little funky. I think if we brought in a new game and maybe tied that all together, that would be incredible. That would be the coolest thing in the world. Yes, those are my thoughts on maybe seeing a new Banjo game or seeing Banjo and Smash. If you like the video, please subscribe, hit the bell, I guess, is that what people say? And stay tuned for more videos. I really want to put out an E3 predictions video before the Nintendo Direct, or even possibly tomorrow, because I don't have many ideas for the Microsoft Direct, but I definitely think we'll be seeing E3. So I'd like to put up a video maybe tomorrow or Monday about what we might be seeing. And hopefully I can get a reaction video, but we'll see. Alright, thanks guys. Have a good one.